We are live. I am so excited to talk to Spencer Taylor with Win Clients. Huge fan. I've actually been talking to you probably about maybe 4 to 6 months now. And we always kind of go back and forth, see what each other are doing, see how we can collaborate. But now I get to actually jump on a call with you and talk to people and have people understand what you do and how much value you give just on a daily basis. So Spencer, for those that don't know you, can you just break it down, kind of who you are and a little bit about your background?
Yeah, for sure, man. So I got started in the online space 7 years ago with affiliate marketing, network marketing. I got started with all these big time companies that we all know, right? Like the Advocares, FEMA when it was around, for those of you guys who know what like the young people revolution was and all that stuff. Herbalife, blah, 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 right? Yeah. I went through all of those and then made the mistake of going into college and going all the way through it anyways, while still building online businesses on the side. Quickly realized that school and economics and finance, what I was studying there was all just useless, basically. So it's all theory, right? It's all theory unless you're looking at hard numbers and like finance and blah, 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 which wasn't really fun for me.
Right.
So on the second to last semester, right before I graduated, I got this call from this big time influencer in Kansas City, right? He'd seen me building up these different sales companies and closing teams, et cetera, et cetera. He was like, hey, want to see if you're going to come up here and close these sales for me. And you'll be a six-figure sales guy, run this whole team, blah, blah, blah. And he painted this whole picture, right? Me and 3 other people moved across the country for him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 other people. And we all get here and we get there and he's like, yeah, so I was just lying to you guys. Sorry. Yeah, there was nothing there, dude. We got there wasn't even so much as like an office or an area for us to work in or anything like that.
Oh,
yeah, we lied, and I have this little rented out area and a collab workspace, but you guys don't have access to it, so good luck figuring something out.
Wow.
That's what happened. So without going into all the details of that, it was a really bad situation, and that set me on the path to figure out how I could actually help myself first, get out of that horrible situation, and not have to have other people go through the same BS that I went through. So that's how I usually founded the 1% and Freedom Funnels, which led to Win Clients, and now we're here.
Wow, that is insane. I mean, it's funny because I had a similar story to you. I was a personal trainer, and I was like, in order to grow my business, I need to get a college degree. I need to get my bachelor's. And so I was in the last semester, I was taking not of my bachelor's, but to go to my bachelor's. I was already making 6 figures. I've already at this point had, I think, a house or 2 in real estate. And I just wanted it because I thought I needed it to take it to that next level. I needed to learn business. I was taking a accounting class at the time, and I had a CPA at the time. And I was like, why am I even taking this? They should give me an A in the class because I already hired a CPA.
Have a business.
Right. I'm already hiring someone. So you should just give me an A so that I can move on and, just do my thing because I'm already hiring someone. So I think it seems like we've been on the similar path for a long time now. And now we actually get to talk and share stories. So that's super exciting. So
yeah, man.
How did you start your first business? How did you take all this? You had nothing really because you just moved across the country. You gave up pretty much your whole life. I kind of did when I gave up my fitness business and moved to Texas just last year. How did you get on your feet?
Dude, those two words, damn it this way. Those 2 words. Those are the reason. That's the only reason why I was able to do this, because I did it out of necessity, right? So after I moved to Kansas City, and this guy was like, haha, it's a big joke. Screw you guys, right? He was just looking for free work. That's what it was, right? He was just looking for free work, and so he painted this big vision that everyone's going to get this big percentage, blah blah blah. Long story short, contracts came out, and it wasn't anything like that, right?
Wow.
So I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, so right after that, I was like, okay, it's at this point, it's do or die, right? It's I can move back to Texas and immediately, right? and I can just like, maybe move in with my grandparents and like tell them that like, someone took advantage of me or blah, blah, blah. And like play this victim card.
Right.
Or I could fucking do something about it.
I love that. So many people play the victim card all the time. And so many people it's easier to pass blame on someone else instead of taking responsibility for your own actions. Sure, you could have maybe done a little bit of research or called the guy and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, is this a real thing? But you decided, you know what? It was probably my fault. I maybe should have done a little bit more research, or maybe I could have done something different, but I could have blamed him, but I decided to win clients. And that's exactly what you do. And I love that. So go on, man, keep telling me.
Yeah. So this started as the 1%, right? That was the first company name. And that transitioned into Freedom Funnels, right? As I transitioned into that, like my whole mission was to help people like gain the freedom they want through online business, right? So I was like, Freedom Funnels, cool, that makes sense. Long story short, as you probably know, and most people watching, that's already a company,
right?
And they're already got a whole thing set up. Gooston's awesome. I work with some people on his team as well, and we found ways to just collaborate now, right? And so through that, I figured out, I was like, okay, Freedom Funnels doesn't really necessarily represent what I'm trying to like convey immediately to people, because like I have to explain to them. They're like, oh,
like, what's a funnel?
Yeah, like, are you a software company? Like, do you funnels? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I do coaching. Dang it. Yeah. So it was difficult to explain, right?
Right.
And so when I founded Win Clients, it was just much simpler. So sure, the domain costed, an arm and a leg, but it's worth it, because just having that alone is like, okay, instantly now people understand it, and it conveys to my customers, my clients, much simpler, like what my mission's about, right? It's about helping you win clients so you can do this too.
Yeah. And I love that you actually have a company that displays the results, because a lot of people, they see a company and they're like, what do they do? Like you were saying, Freedom Funnels, like not everyone knows what a funnel is. And the people that are part of that community do, but they might not necessarily understand what it does. And Win Clients is obviously a direct result of what you want to accomplish. And I think that's just, it makes sense to me. And I think more people need to understand what they deliver and wrap their branding around that. I mean, if you look at my company, it's all about Mr. Monopoly, and people, when they see that, they can associate just through association that's Monopoly, real estate. They understand that whole branding aspect of it. So I think that's great. Right. But so how do you win clients?
So I do it. I do it very simply. How do you do it, guys? It's a 3-step process. You get your expertise out there, you get it out on the social media, and you start contacting people and calling them. You want to know how to do it? That's how you do it. 3 steps.
I love that. And you have a perfect framework, because it is 3 steps. And people, I think a lot of people lack in the whole framework thing, because they don't understand their whole messaging and their whole branding. So do you want to break it down a little bit further of like how you actually do that?
Yeah. Like you said, that's just like a framework, right? A lot of people see that and they're like, okay, what's the strategy? And like, then deeper level, what are the tactics behind that? And like the X, Y, and Z and blah, blah, blah. Most people, like you just said, don't have their branding right. There's 2 worlds of marketing. There's branding and direct response. So it's like, how do you combine those 2 things to get clients or win clients? People don't really realize at the same time how to extract their expertise and put it into a program or a service, right, that can actually serve their audience. So they're just kind of like shooting shotgun shells everywhere, like hoping that something sticks.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Like then they wonder why they run like this hamster wheel of like organic marketing 24/7 and like hoping that somebody's going to eventually like sign up to be like, I don't know, one of their affiliates or like something. I'm not going to go down that road, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, and I think that a lot of people, and just kind of like you were saying, like almost talking about a value ladder, right? So many people think that a value ladder is someone's going to opt into whatever they have to sell, and then they're going to buy their $7 product, and then buy their $47 product, and then go up to their $97, and then buy their $9.97 program. And, that's just wishful thinking, right? Like, do you think that the people that are buying in or getting your free ebook or your $7 lead machine are the same people that are going to buy your $9.97 product?
No.
So today we're going to be kind of talking about why we think the value ladder is a lie. And I want Spence to kind of go into a little bit more detail why he thinks that and why I think that. We're on the same kind of mindset about that. So if you want to break it down, then I'll kind of rebuttal you or give some more insight, and then we'll just kind of hash it back and forth.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah. So like I was just sharing with my story, right? I did this, honestly, first of all, I did it just out of necessity, right? Because I was like, okay, I'm in this situation. I can either like play the victim card, or I could make something happen out here with my existing skill set, right? And so I took that existing skill set and I turned it into a business. Very simply put, a service-based business.
Right.
I started going out, I made content, I started making calls, and I started winning clients. That's what I did. And so the reason why we're about to go into this, as you just said, that I feel like the value ladder is so broken is because most people aren't going to build out like 1,000 email list, 1,000-person email list right away.
Right.
It's going to take some time. And how are you going to take time? You have to build credibility with your audience. How do you build credibility with your audience? You work one-on-one with them and you gain testimonials.
Right.
Right. That's the fastest way to do it. Work one-on-one with someone, right, for free. This is what I did. Work one-on-one with someone for free who eventually pays you, gives you a testimonial, and then you use that testimonial to gain another client. 1 turns to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32 to 64.
Right.
Simple math. Anyways, what do you think about that?
I know. I think that's great. I think that you and so many people don't leverage testimonials, social proof. All that is super important in your business. If you're not, and I talk about this a lot too, is you need to give away free coaching. You need to get those free testimonials so that you have a proof of concept, but also you can refine your course. So many people think that they have this amazing course. Sure, it might be amazing to them, but it might not be amazing for someone who just started. When I was first real estate investing, after I got my 10th unit, I totally forgot about a debt to income ratio. Like that doesn't even, to me, I don't even think about that because my debt to income ratio is very small, and that doesn't even come up on when I go to a bank and I say, hey, give me some money. Like they don't even ask me, hey, you need to pay a little bit down your debt because you might need to make sure that your debt to income ratio is under 45%. And I totally didn't even know that until recently when I had to research a lot of the stuff that beginners might need to know when they start investing in real estate. So I think that is super important that one, you refine your course by getting people in it, by giving them free information and having them go through it. And then they can ultimately give you feedback. You refine it even better based on their needs. And then you're getting testimonials and they're happy. And it's just a love triangle in a sense. I don't even think that was a right analogy. It's just a match made in heaven in a sense because they're helping you build your course to be even better until you launch. So I think that's a great idea that's how you started. So would you say this is almost like an descending value ladder, or like how does that work?
Yeah. Like what you just said, to piggyback off of that, like you're constantly refining like the course that you're eventually making, right? I don't necessarily think it's right unless you have like the right experience already. That's the big secret, experience. Right. Unless you have that experience, like you shouldn't go out and just make a course right away. Just honestly, I think you should get some experience first. And how do you do that? By working one-on-one, like you're saying.
Right. No, I think and the thing is, people like that personal attention. So they're going to pay more. They're going to pay a lot more. And if you're able to give so much value and give them a return, they're going to be a customer for life. And not only that, but they're going to, like you said, one's going to turn into 2 because they're going to refer those people and you're going to get a testimonial. And now you have 2 testimonials and those people are going to refer those people. And it's just a downward like web, snowball of just being able to get so much more value from the feedback that you're getting from your customers, because they're going to be giving you direct feedback too, based on kind of what you've teach them. And, you learn so many more techniques and different sides of the business, because all these other people that you're helping are in different businesses in a sense. They might be slightly the same, but they might be a little bit different, and you can get a different perspective, a different audience in a sense, because not everyone's audiences are the same. And I think that's a big misconception, that a lot of people who teach some kind of online course, is not all audiences are created equal. Like
Right.
my audience is going to be different than Cole's audience, just because I see his name there. And so it's being able to have a different audience, you see kind of what works and the patterns between those audiences, and then you're able to kind of work your way between them. And I think that's a amazing tactic, where you start off at the very high level and then you work yourself down. And then once you have enough money to invest into ads and scale your business, then you can take them up the other side of the value ladder, which is how you should be doing it. But they don't teach this kind of strategy in some of these courses, or these programs. So, and I think a lot of people just don't understand. Like, they come on social media expecting to make all this money, and they don't even have a business foundation. So what is some of the things, like when you just started out, you were like you were nothing, you had nothing, and you had to really start your business from scratch. So how, like, what are some of the ground foundational work that you had to do to build your business?
Yeah. And like you said, like, starting from nothing is not something like I enjoy talking about, right? It's not like I enjoy like coming out and being like, yeah, guys, I was homeless for 5 months and that's how I founded this. Like, because this guy, like, led us all into a bad situation. I don't like explaining it that way, right?
Right.
I explain it this way because this is the truth, right? This is the truth. If you want to get to where you want to go really fast, you follow this model that Brandon and I are talking about right now. If you want to do it the long and like the really expensive and hard way, do it the other way.
Right.
Simply put. No. I started just going on a tangent right there, but I totally forgot. What was your question, man?
Yeah, no, I love that you said, if you want, what you just said is perfect. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. But what I said was, how do you build a foundation for your business when you're just starting? Like, what are some of the things that you need? I mean, I think so many people worry about these little things that aren't as important, but what are some of the things that are important?
Yeah, I would just say it. George Bryant said it best, honestly. Relationships beat algorithms, right? That's what I base my business on too.
I love that.
Yeah, is building relationships with people, right? Simply put, people. Russell Brunson calls it the Dream 100. I call it the Perfect 1000, because I've been doing this for years without really realizing what it was.
Right.
Just building relationships with like business owners and people in different cities that I was living in, right? That I needed and wanted to do business with. Simply put. But how do you do that? You do that by working for them, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I love that you have the 1,000 perfect. What was it?
Oh yeah, Perfect 1000. That's just
Perfect 1,000. So there's another concept which is exactly the same, and I follow this, is 1,000 True Fans by Kevin. Right. And it's, if you can have 1,000 people pay you $100, you're going to have just $100 over the course of a year. You're going to have $100,000 a year business. But if they pay, $1,000, you're looking at $1 million business. And so if you're able to have your 1,000 true fans that will buy whatever product you have, then you're going to be in a great stage in your life, because you're not having to beat the algorithms. And all these people focus on engagement and likes and hearts and all these bullshit vanity metrics, and they're not making any money. And it's insane, because I see this all the time. Like I did a mini chats broadcast, and I talked about a tool that I have, and all these people are like, yeah, I want it, and I want it. But no one followed through. And I'm just like, why not? Like, you say you want it. So like, is it because, do you think that a lot of people just don't take action on social media? Do you think they're playing to the vanity and want just the engagement and likes? Or what do you think why most people fail on social media? Are they not building relationships right? Or what are your thoughts on that, Spencer?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say that it comes with not pairing what you're doing with your real mission, right? And when you're not pairing your service or your products with your actual mission, there's going to be a really big disconnect between the way that you're speaking to your audience, right? I'm a copywriter by nature. So you have to understand how to talk to people, right?
Right.
Talk to your people.
Right.
That's the key thing. It's talking less but saying more with the right words, right? That's what copywriting is. As Frank Kern says, simple language is damn hard to write.
It is.
Right, it is. It's really because you want to just keep going. You're like, damn it. All right, let me put it all into one thing or one second. Right. But anyways, when people are coming online, I think a lot of times see the wrong side of things too much, right? That's kind of what you just alluded to. And they see everyone just kind of like, yeah, brother, okay, let's do this. Yeah, brother, okay, yeah, like, how's it going? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, everyone's just kind of like clapping on each other, which is great, right? I've done it. I feel like everyone's done it too at one point or another. Like, you're learning, right? But most people just keep doing that forever, right? And you look at their social medias and it's like, why does this person only have a bunch of people just like hearting them and liking them, but like they're not actually delivering any real value to these people, right? Which isn't just like, which isn't just spamming your page with business at all, right? You should break up your content, obviously, but you're not delivering any real value to people because you're just looking for validation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a simple way of saying it.
Oh, I love that. Like, and that's a hard truth, I think, for people to swallow is that they're seeking validation because they're not confident in themselves. Right. And I think that a lot of people come on social media and they get all this love and attention on the hearts and the comments, and they do the same thing, and then they wonder why like they're still in the same hole and their bills are piling up, and they come on social media to feel good, but they're not really doing anything with their lives. And I feel that if more people just focused on helping and giving value and high quality value like you do every single day, they're not worried about what it is that, how many hearts or how many reactions they got. They're able to kind of change people's lives in a real true way. And you change people's lives all the time. I mean, look at just Win Clients, like you guys do amazing things. So like, why are so many people, and I think I already said this, but why are so many people focused on vanity instead of actually helping people change lives?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say it's clarity. I'm sure you probably think that too, or maybe you agree somewhat, but like it's clarity in what they're doing, right? Because if you don't have clarity in what you're doing and why you're doing it, then you're just getting distracted by everything around you, and you go in like this. That's how people fall in the hamster wheel of courses, right? Right. Courses and events and courses and events and courses and events and group coaching, maybe one-on-one coaching too, but like you're just going in this circle, right? Because they don't have like this actual mission they're going after, right? That's aligned with their brand. I don't know. Is that kind of like what you're saying too?
No, yeah. And it's funny because so many people, they do get in this hamster wheel and they buy courses and they don't implement. And they think that some course is going to change their lives. And I see this all the time with affiliate marketers, not to shit on affiliate marketers or anything, because some affiliate marketers are great. And a lot of them buy this program, don't watch it, don't go through it at all. They just have it sitting in the back burner. They maybe do like the first 5 minutes and they're like, oh, I'm bored. I got to go sell this to make money. And it's like the program that sells the program that sells the program, and they keep like recruiting each other. And then, and it's just like, it's crazy because so many of them are like, and then it's saturated too with all the same kind of programs. And then they jump from, it gets saturated and then they jump to the next program and they never go through it. They never build a business. They just jump from program to program and hope that this is going to be the one that makes them, the 10-figure a month program to hit them over that 6 figures. And then they have to, and they spend like 60 hours or 70 hours being on social media, plugging away, and then they have nothing to show for it. And it's so sad because then they have to do it again the next month. and then they don't hit those numbers. They hit maybe 3K and they're like, damn, it must not be as good. And then they start doubting themselves, and it just turns into this hamster wheel of how we kind of said it in the very beginning, blaming other people or blaming a program or blaming something and not taking responsibility for their actions. Not only that, but like a lot of these affiliate marketers or just people on social media don't even have like the foundation of business. Like they only are on social media, and every piece of content that they create gets dropped down in the feed, and they're constantly having to push out content and constantly having to start over every month without really building a plan or a mission or a vision for what they want to do with their lives. And so I definitely agree with you. That was kind of like the long tailwind of what you said, but yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, and I just think that most people, like you said, if they just built their foundation first, right, they would everything else would take care of itself.
Right.
Everything else would take care of itself. If you just built your foundation first of, talking to people, building relationships with people, building goodwill and trust and relationship with those people, servicing them, or getting them to buy your products or services, whichever one it is. You start there, and then everything else after that just takes care of itself, because you have these relationships built already with people who trust you.
Right.
And if not, then you're looking at all of the different things that don't actually matter, right? Like one of my coaches told me this. The funnel is actually only 1% of the entire equation. Yeah.
Ouch.
I was like, huh. This guy's made millions and millions and millions of dollars. His clients have made tens and tens of millions of dollars. So I'm like, huh, okay. Like, here we are being told one thing, mostly for example, it's to do the webinar funnels, right? Every week.
Right.
Chandler Chittister has this whole rant against that too. We don't have to go into that, but it all just comes back to the foundation, right? You wouldn't be distracted by all these other things if you had your mission and your foundation built already, because you'd have your affiliate army already built.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they don't even need to be affiliates. Like, these people are people that you've helped, and they're willing to help you for free. They're willing to tell their neighbor or another coworker or a business partner, hey, you should probably check out this guy's stuff. It is amazing. And they'll just promote you for free. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the 1,000 true fans or 1,000 perfect customers, whatever that perfect audience, like all these things that are the kind of the same concept, help you really build a business. And I think a lot of people kind of just really focus on the wrong things on their business. Like you were saying, not having that foundation. I mean, if you look at just social media, it's disruptive marketing, right? So you have to consistently disrupt people or interrupt their behavior to make a sale or to get engagement, versus maybe building something that is intensive marketing, like SEO, like YouTube, like having a blog, all these things where people are actually seeking out this information, which makes it a lot easier to sell. And if it's just a lot of people don't do that, and they think that this, like you said, this funnel is going to be this magic thing that sells them make their dreams come true, when in reality it is just only 1% of their business. And once you actually have the other 99%, then the funnel starts working its magic, or whatever else. And so many people don't even collect recurring income. They don't have a continuity program. So it's like, how do you have a business if when you wake up, when you go to sleep, like your business is gone? Like, you don't even have a business when you're not on social media. So like how, and then you get these people that show these, oh, I made this when I was asleep. No, you didn't. You just worked like 6 hours the day before, and then you got a sale, and then it came through because 14 days later, your affiliate commission came in, and now you're showing people that, hey, I made this when I was asleep. No, you're a liar. And I think that it's just crazy.
Selling a false bill of goods. That's what that is.
Yes. Yeah. And I see it all the time. I mean, I see so many people fake their income statements and all this stuff. And I feel social media is, some of these communities are very toxic. And if you have your community, your 1,000 true fans that are there to support you and you're able to help them grow, you guys are all going to grow together. I mean, that's why I created the Money Friends. I wanted to make money online with my friends. And
Right.
I mean, that seems like a lot of fun. Like, how fun would it be to play on social media all day, make money with people? And I realized, well, that is not something I can do. I can't be on social media all day trying to make money, because it is a very small portion and there's diminishing returns on social media. Like,
Right.
you can't just post 20 things a day and like constantly get new people. Like, you need to have the follow-up, you need to have the foundation, you need to have the website, the blog post, you need to interview people, you need to network, you need to build relationships. All these things add up. And then it starts, once you start building that recurring income, just like anything, it snowballs into much more wealth, just like debt does, right? There's a debt snowball too. If you're on the opposite end of the spectrum and you keep getting bills piled up and up, you feel like you're in a snowball effect, and you need to file bankruptcy at that point. So just life in general is a snowball effect, and or the compound effect that we all hear is, you start compounding things, you start leveraging relationships, income, networks, you're able to make a bigger impact.
Totally. Yeah, and like you said, like it's not even just about, like I said, the last few words in my last statement was like affiliate army, right? Russell Brunson talks about that in his book Traffic Secrets. It's like chapter 19 or 18 or something. But he just labels it that, right? That's just like the branding of it. It's really just like, it's 1,000 like true fans, people who you're friends with, you've built relationships with, you've done business with,
Right.
Who have been referred to you, et cetera, right? And telling these people like, look, I've got this amazing thing that's going to happen. How can I find a way to integrate my product with your product?
Right.
So we both have a win-win situation. And then it's a win for the customer too. It's like you said earlier, but you were like, oh, that was a mistake. Like it's like a triangle, right? It's like a perfect triangle.
Right.
Like the customer, the affiliate, or your partner, and then you, right? You guys are all winning here because it's a win for them because they're getting a commission, win for you because you're getting a new client, win for the customer because they're getting information or products or services that are bettering their lives, right? That's the model, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I always say you should always have a win-win-win or a win-win-win-win. So either 3 or 4 wins, because for instance, like right now, it's a win for me and you because I get to talk to you, Spencer. That's an instant win. And then obviously my audience is getting amazing value because Spencer's an amazing person. And then people are seeing my stuff on Spencer's posts, and they're going to be like, oh, Spencer's giving more value. Who is this Brandon guy? So it just is a win-win-win-win. Just like, that's what I always talk about, is you should always have wins. And I mean, that's like just with anything, like when you're doing real estate investing, when I'm buying from a realtor, it has to be a win for the realtor. It has to be a win for me. And it also has to be a win for the person selling their house. So so many people, a lot of these gurus, typically don't even make it a win-win. It's mostly just a win for them, and they take people's money and then they piece them out, and it's just, or they block them, or they kick them out of their communities, and it's toxic, and they leave a toxic trail in their wake, and I just hate that. So that's why I talked to Spencer Cornelia, another Spencer, who's an amazing person, who is the guru killer, and he talks about how like people like Dan Lok, how they have, I know, right? He just got caught from stealing someone's framework, and Alex Sharfin's, and you heard about that. And like, for instance, I believe he also got kicked out of his house that he said he owned, which he was renting, and he couldn't pay his rent. Man, I mean, if you were telling people that this is what you are, but then you're not actually following through with what it is that you do, you're gonna put a lot of damaging information out there that people are gonna start following, and then realize like maybe this person isn't who I thought they were. And so if you just actually set the ground framework of what you do and follow through with it, provide value every day, and not be a jerk, then you're going to do pretty well in life, I think.
Exactly. Like you just said, just building the framework and really just not, to put it really brashly, like just don't be a jerk, like you just said, right? Just don't be one.
Right.
Like I don't know if that guy's ever gonna recover from all the stuff that he's done. I'm not even gonna go into the whole story about how that guy damaged my life as well, right? I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, like I don't see how liars are ever going to actually get past a very small glass ceiling, right? Like I don't know how that guy's ever won the 2CCX award, first of all. But like that's never happening again. No chance.
There's a lot of them out there like that. And I don't know how they're learning, where they're learning this information from, but it's pretty damaging to a lot of people. And it's funny because, like, for me, if I'm nice to everyone, people are good. Like, we go back to what we talked about earlier, people are going to refer you business. They're going to want to see you succeed. And for me, like, if someone's a jerk to me, I'm never going to want to help them at all. I'm never going to want to refer them. It's never, and not only that, but I'm going to probably talk about them and be like, yeah, probably not. That's probably not the best idea to work with that person. And that's just going to, put out more bad news about them. So I highly recommend just being a nice person. Like you go a lot further in life if you're a good person over just being an asshole. Right.
Totally agree with you there. Yeah, it's not about like picking battles about the past or anything like that, right? It's just like it's about being authentic and not faking it, right? I had a conversation with a business partner of mine yesterday. We were just talking about this big deal that we're putting together, and we were talking about why we think this is such a mutual beneficial partnership, right? And we just got down to brass tacks, the foundation of it, in this conversation, and he was like, the reason why I think it works so well that we work together, Spencer, is because you're not pretending. And I was like, exactly, I'm not pretending. Like I'm not trying to be something that I'm not, right? So that's why everything just goes back to the basics and it goes back to building your foundation, because otherwise people look at you, right? And like you just said, then they're like, they get like this weird vibe with you, and like
right.
tell your friend or tell their friend, sorry, who doesn't end up doing business with you. So like it ends up costing you in the long term, whether you want to admit it or not, because you're just not, being authentic.
Right. And I think that kind of goes too, like if you're pretending, you lose your trust and credibility, but you also just aren't confident in what you're doing, and people can pick up on that right away. Like people will sense that you're not confident in what you're doing and they'll be hesitant, and then they'll start doing more research or whatever it is that they do. And if you're not confident and you're not able to follow through with what you said, then those are like two red flags, and people are going to be like, okay, maybe this guy isn't who he says he is. So I think that is so important about what you just said, about being authentic, about following through with what you believe in, understanding your vision, all these things that kind of go in with having a good framework and having a good foundation in a business.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think we should probably like branch into the framework?
Really? Yeah. Do it.
So like I kind of just alluded to this at the beginning, right? So for people who tune in after this is over, like they'll hear like the framework right in the beginning, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm in. What's this about? But the framework's really simple. A lot of people overcomplicate this, right? You don't really need to overcomplicate it. You need to figure out what your expertise is and what your strategy is going to be for getting that out into the marketplace. Right. That's it. And how you can do that, right? I'll even throw in some tactics here really quick, or a strategy, I guess. Throw out some content that's valuable for people. Follow up with the people who comment on that, right? See if you can book an appointment with those people, call those people, and then make a sale with those people, get a testimonial from them, and build your business. That's the entire framework.
It's really easy. I mean, I was kind of talking about this earlier about when I started my real estate course, I didn't know how to do the beginning stages because I was so past that. I was able to teach people and kind of not relearn, but kind of reignite kind of my brain of what they might be going through. And that's exactly what I did. I asked a question. I talk about how I went from one property to a second property to now 10 properties, 10 units, and how I was able to do that. And I talk about, and it's funny because I post out things that are more, I guess, not the same as everyone else. Like how I made $1 million. I don't usually say that. I go like, hey, check out how I made $1 million in debt. And people are like, what are you talking about? What is this? And then exactly follow up. So many people don't follow up on social media. They hit it once and then quit it, right? They typically try and sell someone and then they never follow up again. And I see this all the time when people sell me on something. I might be super interested in what they have to sell, but I might have been busy at that time. I might have, in a moment here, not a moment, but I have a dentist appointment or I have an eye doctor appointment. And I might have been said, hey, I can't do this right now. Get back to me in a week. And I never get a follow-up. And so you always hear this all the time. The money's in the follow-up because if you follow up, you're not a fly-by-night kind of person. They know you're there consistently providing value, consistently following up. And I follow up until they tell me to fuck off. And so because ultimately they showed interest. And if they showed interest, they weren't ready at that time. And they might be ready in a week. I mean, it's funny, this guy named Stephen Black, I would follow up with him every single day. And then at some point I was showing him a calendar of how many days I followed up with him in a row. And I think it came out to like 42 days. And, it's just—
Before he responded at all?
What?
Before he responded at all?
No. I mean, I would make conversations with him all throughout the day. We're friends, and and we're still friends. And I would constantly just show him like, "Hey, how's your day going?" And it wasn't like trying to pitch him every single day because that's annoying too. But it was just a kind of a joke between us that the money is in the follow up, and if you follow up with people and kind of show them content to overcome their objections, you're going to do a lot better. And they might have a few objections that you actually haven't crossed out for them. And if you're able to cross that out for them, it makes it so much easier. I like to think of marketing as golf. And marketing is you teeing off and bringing it to the hole of whatever the sale, like the hole in one. Sure, you might get a hole in one sometimes, and that's like your sale. But when you do your marketing, it brings it that much closer. Or football, you can say that, like get into a touchdown. So a lot of people don't follow up, and they don't bring them closer to their ultimate goal by crossing off these objections.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't cross off these objections because they haven't been through the experience.
Right.
That's like the big secret that you kind of like allude to in like Think and Grow Rich, various other books. Like everyone doesn't say it. I don't know why nobody really says it, but like the big secret's experience.
It's true.
Yeah, I think the same thing, right? Like you've been in business for a long time too. Like you can't fake experience. You can't fake results, right? So if you can't, the point I'm getting to here is like without experience, you don't know what those objections even are,
right?
Because you haven't been through that. So then people end up making products or courses or informational products, for example, right? Our space, where people, or even softwares, where people don't actually want them, right?
Right.
Yeah, so like they're trying to like sell them stuff they don't want because they haven't done the research, been through the experience, and gotten the results to give to those people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what happened with our first software. We did really, really well. We pre-sold it, got valuable feedback, and realized it wasn't what people wanted. We made a lot of money, and we ended up selling it to another developer because they really wanted a software similar to this. And so what we took is we learned from the feedback that we got, all the lots and lots of testimonials, and everything that we used as kind of data points for our business. And then we created this new piece of software, and it's a way better piece of software just based on our experience, right? We were able to develop it to be much more user friendly, much more what people wanted to do auto follow ups and a CRM and all the things that people actually want. But just say, for instance, like to kind of
with your update. Sorry, not to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Just to like go back to experience, like how does someone get experience if they get into a new market, or like would you say if with the value ladder, the inverted value ladder, declining value ladder, would you teach someone something you already know, or would you just go in cold, or how would that actually work in the marketplace?
I'm gonna say this quote that I heard one time: "Sell bleep cars." Full quote is "sell fucking cars." Right? Sell cars is a really simple concept that Gary Vee talks about on stage one time. You guys can go look it up on YouTube. I didn't get it at first either because it made no sense, and I was like, "What?" He goes into the whole story. He's like, why do the top salespeople do so well? And there's like a big divide between the top people and like the other people, right? Because the people who sell the most are selling to people who actually want to buy.
Right.
That's why they do so well, because they're selling to people who want to buy cars. People who want to buy cars are being sold cars, not people who want to go buy motorcycles, right? Make it really simple here. And so a lot of people don't gain. This is the second step of like not gaining experience. They don't gain the experience, but then they go and they sell things to people who don't actually want them. Right? That kind of like what you were asking?
Yeah, no, kind of. In the sense that, well, I love that analogy because this is so true. So many people in affiliate marketing, and I actually learned this from Peng Joon. He said something similar: is you're not trying to sell to people that you're not trying to persuade people into buying what you want. You're trying to kind of show them already something that they're already buying, and you're just saying, here, this is another option. If they're already buying, for instance, like a personal trainer or someone who's in the gym all the time. If you're trying to sell them something, you're not going to sell them diabetes medicine or something like that. Like, sure, they might, be overweight or anything like that. But if they're in the gym and they're trying to get in shape and they're already buying protein powder, you might want to sell them something that they already have. And I think that goes in with the analogy of you talking about sell cars, is because you're just showing them what they already want. And here is that kind of thing that they want already and presenting it to them. And then obviously using nice copywriting to not persuade them, but to show them the features, the benefits. Obviously, you don't want to sell features. You want to show the benefits or the results of having that car. I was just this guy named Marshall Silver. He's this big hypnotist, and he talks about how just by showing people and using different language, you're able to get your message much more across very easily. And I think it's amazing. But I think that a lot of people try and persuade people into buying something that they don't want instead of just showing them something that they might already need. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with that. But to go back to what I asked about someone who's just starting out, maybe getting in the online space or just getting in the online space, because that's where we are right now and we're in a digital world.
Yeah.
When you're trying to sell something that is starting off at this very high level where you're trying to get clients and do all that, would you teach someone a new skill or something that you already are a master of, and that's what you should teach? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like when I got started, right, I got started in affiliate marketing and then transitioned over into sales, right? I was leading sales teams and, making people a lot of money, closing a lot of deals. But I turned that skill set into working, for people, like for free, right? Essentially, like these big time influencers who were on my Dream 100, like doing their sales for free, commission based, right? And then building teams around that and adding value to them, right? And I leveraged that work to then transition into what I really wanted to do at the time, right? Which was social media marketing. I was like, oh, this will be cool. Let's do this. Great. I've already done sales. I get this. This is easy. Social media marketing is really not that hard, guys. It's Facebook ads and Google ads if you want to break it down simply. Then you have to figure out YouTube and Instagram on top of that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it, but I figured out I actually didn't want to do that, right? And with social media marketing as well, to make that transition, to answer your question now, I worked for free for people, right? I worked on a commission base there too, because social media marketing led to sales through their funnels and their websites. So I just worked for free there too, and then gained the testimonials there. And I think a lot of people just overcomplicate it because they want to like make this drastic transition right away, right? And like I wouldn't do that. You know, like if you got a full-time job already, like I'd keep that. I'd keep that and like do this free work, right? So you're not like scared shitless about what you're gonna do next, because so many people make that mistake, right? They just completely jump and they don't have any real foundation built already, right? And so like then they end up hurting themselves more. But anyways, I'm just trying to say that if you got something going already, keep that thing going and then add this free work on top of that so that you can play the long game, right? Too many people are looking short.
Oh my God. I love that. So many people try and play the short game. And I think that that's what a lot of people do on social media is they play the short game. They don't build a lasting business. And that kind of just goes hand in hand with having a foundation. Like I'm in it for the long game. That's why I have real estate investments. I have software. I have multiple businesses because I'm in it for the long game. I'm not trying to make these quick wins. I'm not trying to make these high ticket sales. That's why, again, I collect recurring income, is because it is the lifeblood of your company and it allows me to test. I mean, we fail more than we succeed. And if you're able to have a passive income stream or a recurring income stream, it allows you to F up more, because the more you know that money's still going to come in, even though you're trying to test all these different things, you're not worried that your money is just going to go up in smoke, because you only collect one-time payments or you only collect high ticket instead of reinvesting that money. And so many gurus and people that focus on, and influencers and these people that kind of show off this amazing lifestyle, they're only reinvesting their money into like flashy things. And once that money's gone, like say for instance, they have a bad month, they don't sell enough, or their course goes up in smoke, or the platform disappears, and now they have this car payment, they have this big house, and they have no money coming in because they don't have a recurring or continuity program, then I don't know what to say, because you're not reinvesting your money. You're not thinking long term. And so, I mean, that's consistently what I always talk to people about, is you need to build a continuity program. You need to take your money that is online and take it offline in some sense, because we were around when there was MySpace.
Yeah.
Where is it now? It's, everyone's on Facebook, or some people are on TikTok. But, even TikTok now, even though it's blowing up, so many people just don't understand, like, government regulation can literally shut some of these platforms down, and then you're stuck without anything. And so you need to build a foundation. You need to have a list. I mean, that's kind of like one of the biggest things. So many people don't even collect phone numbers, when I don't even know the last time that, I didn't check a text message versus like an email come in that just goes straight to spam. Like, you need to have ways to communicate with your audience. So many people don't have a mini chat set up, where I don't know when the last time I didn't check a Facebook message. But you need to take your money and start reinvesting it into income producing assets. If that's stocks, if that's other businesses that are going to be brick and mortar, even though we're in this time, like brick and mortar is still going to be around. Like commercial buildings are still going to be around. There's going to be warehouses, there's going to be call centers, all these things are important. So you can't just keep upgrading to the latest model of the Lexus or the BMW and buy this nice fancy house. Like, before I ever invested in my own house, like, we just bought a house that's under construction. We own 10 rental properties before that, where our tenants are actually paying for our house, because we have the cash flow that we're able to access, because I have recurring income, and that just pays for my mortgage in a sense. So so many people need to make sure that they're taking the money they're making, live frugal, make a business that is sustainable by itself, and reinvest all their incomes to support whatever lifestyle that they're living.
Right. What you just said, like, it was like a second thing you said right there. You said live frugal.
Yeah.
Right? So many people make like $1,000, like let's say you make like your first $1,000, right? Like first $1,000 like on the online space, and people just like freak out about it, which, I mean, that's all you need to get started. One, yes, honestly, you just need like some client paying you even like $100, $200. Like some people, that's all you need to get started, right?
Right.
But you make the mistake of thinking like, oh, I made all this money, and then they go spend it. Like right away. And they're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And the people you see the next month who are doing the same things they did the month before.
Right.
Right.
All the time. I see it all the time. And I definitely do live frugal just because I'd rather, I mean, like, for instance, like your car, like when I had a BMW, it was cool for like the first month, but then like after that, it was like, okay, it's kind of this car that gets me to point A to point B. Doesn't really change my life in a dramatic way. Not only that, but I'm paying like $91 for gas. I'm paying for higher insurance. Maintenance is super expensive on a BMW versus a little Toyota. Like,
right.
All these things add up, and you don't realize, like, sure, you're buying that, but say, for instance, you don't have a good month and wasn't as good, or you get sick and you can't go on social media to post your ads or anything like that. By the way, we have a tool. This is a selfish plug. We have a tool that automatically posts to your social media. So if you need that, then go ahead and check out my links in the descriptions. But say, for instance, you are sick and you can't post. One, your feed, your engagement is just going to go down because you're not consistent, and that's just based on the algorithms. But if you don't have your 1,000 true fans, they're not going to be pushing your content. So, all these systems and people and relationships add up, and it just allows you to have a profitable business even when you get sick, instead of focusing on vanity metrics. So I think it's very important to have a foundation in your business so that if things go rough, then you have kind of an exit strategy or a way to keep you afloat by having recurring income in general.
Yeah, totally. Right there with you, man.
What was that?
So are we wrapping this up?
Yeah, no, we are right now. So just wanted to, where can people find out more about you, Spencer? Where can people actually win clients? I think your website's winclients.com, right? Right.
We have that website under construction right now. My funnel guy's working on it because we're launching the group. Right, the group's been launched. Just there you go, look it up, Win Clients. I have to make a video in there later today, just explain the mission and what's happening. But that's going to be the foundation for the course, right? So this is me now, practicing what I preach.
Right.
Leading up into this, the course is going to be a live course. It's free the first time, and we're only looking for 50 beta users. So the first 50 people that get in, they get a $2,000 course for free.
Boom.
And refining it and updating it as we go on.
I love that. And that's exactly the model you just talked about. So if you definitely want to start winning clients, you definitely need to check out Spencer, winclients.com. Everything will be in the show notes. Everything will be there ready for people I think it's the only first 50, right?
Right.
So the first 50 people that jump on that, definitely check out winclients.com or just check out Spencer Taylor on social media. He has such great content. Do your research, learn about how amazing he is, because he does provide value all the time, and take advantage. I mean, these spots are going to be filled up right away. But if you're listening to this down the road, be sure to just check it out. Maybe for whatever reason, you might be the last person that they need, and you want to get in there right away. So definitely check that out. Spencer, it's been amazing. I definitely value all the stuff that you do and how you are able to take people from, where they want to go and taking them where they actually need to be. So thank you again, Spencer. You do such an amazing job. And I don't know why I said your last name. That was really weird, but I appreciate you, man. And I can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to talk to you too. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
And then guys, if you guys don't get into the actual course itself, just join the group. Anyways, Win Clients on Facebook. Brandon, thank you so much for having me, man. I know you give a ton of value out to people too. Your software is kick ass. I use it. So everyone, Brand's an awesome guy as well. Thanks so much for having me, man.
I appreciate that, and we'll talk soon, buddy.
All right. See you, man.
Peace.